Pokemon Legends Arceus is just 2 weeks away and the Riddler has dropped even more information. Let's take a look. Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video today, and today we're diving into the world of Pokemon Legends Arceus in the Hisui region and some new riddles that have come out from the Riddler, who has been providing us a ton of information leading up into this launch. So we're gonna actually break down what could be the full Pokedex in the Hisui region, as well as a sign that points towards potential shiny Pokemon quests in the game. So a lot to unpack on this one. As always, be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And if you haven't done so yet, head over to teamshiny.com, pick up some of our awesome merch there. You can pick up the new starters for the Hisui region and many, many other designs to swag out your closet and get yourselves ready to rock. Code Arceus gets you 15% off if you pick up 3 shirts or more. Without further ado, let's dive into this Pokedex and let's talk shiny Pokemon. So this image we're looking at here was actually compiled by a Reddit user, but it was based off of a post that the Riddler had put out indicating a lot of these Pokemon in their dex order and how they're gonna play out in the Hisui region. So we're gonna kind of go one at a time, kind of break it out and talk about these Pokemon. Now, I would imagine that this list is probably something like 90+% accurate in terms of how this game is gonna break down. We've seen a lot of these Pokemon already, but this seems to be a comprehensive list of pretty darn close of what the Hisui region is gonna look like. So we know we're gonna have these 3 starter Pokemon, Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott, and their new evolutions, right? They have Hisuian evolutions, Rowlet being fighting and grass, Ghost and fire for Typhlosion, and water and dark for Oshawott. Raichu and Clefable line, Ninetales, the Crobat line, and then there's a question mark here. That question mark could be Venomoth, Dugtrio, Persian and Meowth's line, Mankey, or Parasect's line. So it does go in dex order, which is why there's a little bit of confusion as to what that could be. We haven't seen that yet. Golduck's line, we've already seen Psyduck, of course. Growlithe and Arcanine. Then you've got Alakazam, the Machamp line, Tentacruel, Golem, Rapidash, Magnezone's line, or Magnemite's line, Gengar and Steelix. Then you have the new Hisuian, Voltorb, and Electrode, which are grass and electric typing. Then you've got Lickitungu's line, Rhyperior, Blissey's line, Tangrowth. You've got Mr. Mime, a split evolution. A lot of people don't get this or didn't understand it, but Scyther is a split evolution. Scizor still exists in Hisui. It's just split into Scizor or Cleaver. You choose one or the other. Scyther evolves into one or the other. Electivire's line is there with Elekid, Electabuzz, and Electivire, Magmortar in the same. Gyarados, the evolutions, obviously. You've got all the different evolutions there. And then we get, actually, after Sylveon, we get this spot, and I think this is a mistake in the chart, and this is something that was discussed in the thread. I believe that Snorlax should actually be in the spot where Noctowl is, and the space where Snorlax is very well could be Porygon, believe it or not. So that's a hard one to kind of make a case of. I don't think Snorlax belongs where it is. There's no Snorlax evolution. There's been no hints or rumors or riddles of Snorlax evolution, so ignore that part of the chart. I believe that should go where the Noctowl is, and that spot right there would seemingly be Porygon, Porygon 2, and Porygon Z. However, what a weird Pokemon to have in the Hisui region, so we'll have to see how that plays out. And that's where the question marks come in of the legitimacy of just a few spots, right? The spot after Crobat, and then this spot here. But everything else is pretty locked in. Togekiss's line, obviously, Togepi, Togetic, Togekiss, Sudowoodo, Ambipom, Yanmega, Honchkrow, Mismagius, Unknown. We see a lot of the regular Sinnoh decks here. Girafarig and Dunsparce, Gliscor's evolution line, of course, Gligar, Gliscor. Then we've got the Hisuian Quillfish, of course, which has a new evolution that is Poison and Dark. We have not been revealed, but again, it was teased in the Canalave library. Heracross, Sneasel in its new evolution for the game, as well as Weavile. So Sneasel and its new evolution are Poison and Fighting. Tells us that there's probably a regular Sneasel as well to evolve into regular Weavile, so we'll have to see how that all plays out. But we'll talk about another rumor later discussing Alolan forms as well. Then you've got the Mamoswine line, Artillery and Mantine. You've got Stantler and Weirdeer, of course, the new evolution. You got Beautifly and Dustox and their lines, Wurmple and the previous evolutions. As with Ralts, Nosepass, Probopass, you've got Roserade, obviously Dusknoir, Chimecho, Glalie, Frostlass, pretty standard stuff. Walrein, which we just saw in a recent trailer. We've seen Spheal a few times. Then you head into kind of the Sinnoh, main heart of the Sinnoh decks, which is the starters, of course, Torterra, Infernape, and Empoleon, Staraptor, Bibarel. You've got Kricketune and Luxray, Rampardos, and Bastion being the fossils. We know Burmy, Mothim, Wormadam, Vespiquen as well, Pachirisu, Floatzel, and Weasel, Cherim. You've got the Gastrodon forms, Drifblim, Lopunny. You got Purugly and Skuntank, which are the version exclusives in Diamond and Pearl. Bronzong, Chatot, Spiritomb making an appearance, Garchomp obviously, Lucario, Hippowdon, Drapion, Toxicroak, Carnivine, Lumineon, and Abomasnow, and then you head towards kind of the legendaries and some of these other Pokemon that exist beyond this generation, which are Rotom, apparently making an appearance. I'm curious if there's a form. There's been no talks about a new form for Rotom, but very interesting. The Lake Trio, the obviously Dialga, Palkia, Heatran, Regigigas, Giratina, Cresselia, which is interesting. Darkrai located as well later on. Then you've got a new Lilligant form, which is fighting and grass, apparently, much like the Rowlet's evolution. Basculin and Basculegion, Zora and Zoroark, so some Gen 5 representation, which is interesting because there is a lot of Gen 5 representation. And then Braviary, and of course its new evolution. Then you've got the new, well, you've got the nature Pokemon, the Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus, as well as you see after Avalugg is the new nature Pokemon. Goodra is getting a new form, which is Dragon and Steel type. And then Avalugg is getting a new form, which is Rock and Ice type, which is such a bad typing. But apparently that's what the Riddler's been harping on for a long time now. Then Fion and Manaphy. Now there's no breeding in this game, so how to obtain Fion we'll have to wait and see. Arceus, of course, itself, Darkrai, and then Shaman as 2 event Pokemon. So let's assume again, at this point, based on what the Riddler's come out with, we believe that the Riddler to be very, very much so accurate. There's not a lot of reason to believe them to be wrong or to think that they've just been saying things, because everything that they said so far has been proven true. If you were to see this Pokedex, how do you feel about it, is my question. For me, I think obviously I would take my starter Pokemon. I like a lot of the Pokemon that are kind of in the Gen 1 side of things. I like the Crobat, which is obviously Gen 2. The Voltorb Electrode is cool. Cleaver is pretty dope. Some really powerful Pokemon. Heracross I'm a fan of. The Quillfish seems really dope. There's a nice variety of Pokemon, I will say. But it's not a huge dex, right? Like, this is not a massive Pokedex. I think if you were to add it all up, I think it comes out to like 300. It's really not a huge dex. But I think that makes sense in the context of this game, which is going to be a lot of catching, and like a lot of catching the same Pokemon, it seems. But for now, we'll have to wait and see what ends up being truthful here. But this is the layout that that the Riddler has given us, and big shouts to the Redditor for, you know, putting this together. And again, with the exception of a few spots like the Snorlax spot and the spot between Crobat, I tend to believe that this is probably pretty accurate, and this is a pretty good indicator of what we're actually going to get when the game launches. The next thing I want to bring up is this post from the Riddler going back quite a while ago, and it talks about 2 different Pokemon, a shiny Ponyta and an Alolan Vulpix. And this was, like I said, posted a few months back. And then the Riddler actually posted yesterday that since they revealed the mission system, Alolan Vulpix and Shiny Ponyta are 2 missions. You'll know what it was when you play Legends Arceus. Enjoy more breakdowns of my riddles along the leak season happening this week or next week. So what this could be a sign of is, 1, there's a way to obtain Alolan forms, which has been something we kind of assumed. But 2, there could be a mission specifically to find a shiny Pokemon, or in this case, a shiny Ponyta. Maybe the game sends you on a mission and says, hey, we want you to go to the Obsidian Highlands, and we want you to find a horde of Ponyta and Rapidash, and there was sightings of a blue flame Ponyta. I need you to go catch it and show it to me. That would be amazing, and it wouldn't be the first time that Pokemon has shown shinies in the game. If you remember in Ultra Sun and Moon, there was actually a trainer, I believe it was Ultra Sun and Moon, that fought you with a golden Execute in the Pokemon Center on, I think it was Ula Ula Island. If that's the name of it, it's been so long. There was a dude there that battled you with an Execute. So it's not as if they've completely pushed shinies aside and they like have never really acknowledged them in the games, because they have. So I am very excited at the prospect of a mission designed to go find a particular shiny. I feel like that would be amazing. And the Riddler has come out and said that shiny Pokemon are in the game, and they are shown in the overworld, much like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and it's going to ultimately lead to a handful of fails, because some Pokemon are going to run away from you, and they're going to be tough to capture if you try to do just that. So a couple really interesting things to note there, and man, oh man, I tell you what, I am very excited for this game and the prospect of a potential shiny mission or multiple shiny missions. I don't hate this Pokedex. Obviously, there's a lot of repetition from what we just had in Diamond and Pearl, but I think the spiciness of some of the new Pokemon, like the new forms, obviously some different starters and things of that nature. You could definitely form a full team. Like, I'm definitely gonna make a video, and based off of this, I'll make a video in the next few days about what team I plan to use in Hisui, because I do feel like this is actually probably pretty accurate. So that's that. I think this is pretty sick. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's our breakdown on what looks to be the full Pokedex for the Hisui region, or at least darn close, and the potential of a shiny mission has me very excited for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Show some love and hit that like button down below, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys are new so you don't miss out on our epic Pokemon coverage here. And you guys can head over to TeamShiny.com and swag out your closet with some sweet merch from TeamShiny.com. Use code Arceus to get 15% off your purchase if you pick up 3 shirts or more. That's gonna be that for me, guys. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.